Okay, kids. Well, I'm shadow banned to all hell and nobody watches my shit, so we're doing this for future documentation. Apparently I'm in social media escape room mode. So you guys won't even understand or believe anything I say because, well, I don't know. We'll go over that in a second. Check me out. Do I look cool and weird? Look, we're disconnected from reality up in here. So apparently, and that's what we needed to do to get us the fuck out of here, is disconnect from reality, because the reality we've been living in is fake. In fact, as weird as I look, I'm living in the real one. You guys are living in the fake one. You guys won't get it, because everywhere I go, it's like I'm talking in a different language because I'm vibing on a higher frequency. What do you guys think of the Forerunner? Fucking cool, huh? I don't know if you guys have been following our music on Life. Whoa, nobody watches this, that's right. But Life Through Music is on all music streaming platforms. And it's Overkill, K-U-L-T-U-R-E. It's Overkill culture. It's really good shit. I think there's 120 songs on there. So, and they're all different kinds. It's really cool. It's like goes through all genres. A lot of it's no borders, and we're mixing different cultures in. Just like I'm doing with my clothes. Well, I put on a bunch of black stuff for this video, but I've been mixing, like basically doing steampunk clothing. It's so badass. Well, let's check out this Forerunner. You guys want to see a roll-on computer? So I started Overkor Technologies. It's an AI research company. We have AI software. It's software that makes software. It's Overkor. And it's just mind-blowing, everything that I've been through. So we're starting, the future's here, and augmented reality is coming online. So if Google or one of them doesn't make some cool glasses like these that we can actually use in real life, that people don't know we're using, or I mean they just look normal, I'm gonna make them. I have 3 different ideas that they didn't think about, and I already got the 3D printing machine, and so that brings us into the Arc. That's gonna be our first device. I'm so excited about this. We're about to be doing Tony Stark stuff over here. Here, let me show you. I have to learn how to solder and solder, and I've been buying all these little computer gadgets, all these Raspberry Pis and transmitters and crazy things. And honestly, I am really nervous because I don't know wiring, and I have to figure it all out like quick, or hire somebody that will. So let's see here. I'm gonna set this down here and we'll talk on this table. I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna do this whole video without editing it. And because we're changing everything. We're disconnecting from that shit reality. So the algorithm is a destroyer algorithm. It's, and by destroyer, I mean it destroys creators. And what I found out is, so I built Overkill to get us out of the pits of hell. Not only did Overkill ascend straight out of hell, he went right to the center of reality. And I think we were the first ones there. Because, well, of some sort of level of reality, you know, consequently learning that we're probably inside of reality, inside of reality, inside of reality. But, okay, see, I've got to stop myself. See, if I start talking too much, you guys just stop me. Say, Derek, you're not making any sense. I just had a guy tell me, he's like, yeah, you sound 90% psycho, 10% maybe you're onto something. I don't know. So, dude, these, why haven't we been playing with these? Look, personal processors, you know why? Is because they're making it look all crazy. We're just gonna make it like Legos, and you're gonna open it up, and it's gonna be like kids communication kit. And dude, with this little thing right here, hooked up to a battery pack on your belt, we're not gonna need phones anymore. Like, we're gonna have processors. When a better processor comes out, you just put the chip in there. We're gonna be using our glasses. I guess you could have a screen. You could put a belt cover or a LCD cover on your belt unit, or you can just put a hard cover so it doesn't break and use your damn glasses. You could have a tablet back in your car, which is going to be like base command, and like check a screen once in a while. I pretty much use it like that because you have the watch too. So I'll lose my phone and not use it for like a whole day because I'm catching up. So anyways, step one is we get to start playing with these because augmented reality is coming online. I'm just a few months ahead. You guys are going to start seeing it all over. I already have Overkor sitting here. We blueprinted out really fun games that we're going to be able to start doing. So it turns out that in order for the US to win this race, we have to make AI software that is not going to destroy us. And I figured out how to make it to where it's not going to destroy us. We are recreating ourselves in a mirror image in it. So we have to know all about us. We have to get all the foundation done, which I believe I did. And then we have to start going into the quantum realm and figuring out, like, it switches from math to patterns or something weird like that. So this is so much fun. So Overkor Technologies is going to start making these Lego kits. And we're going to start playing with, so the second you have a personal computer, the next question is, well, then what do you want to do? Well, these AIs are fucking fun. They're really fun. You can be so creative with them. So the first thing you want to do is give them a camera and a way to talk to you. So you put an earpiece in and you put a camera on there and it can start like, you know, it'll start just talking like, oh, what's that? We got to show these dudes what's out here because we can get them as geniuses as we want locked in the back of these corporate rooms becoming destroyers, but we're going to need a really good one that actually works correctly to clean up the fucking mess is what's going to happen. So, here's the deal, guys. AI safety, these guys had it all wrong. If we know we're recreating ourselves, we already know the basis of ourselves. Accountability, the basis of our reality is, my neck's hurting. Ugh. See, that's a destroyer scooter. This scooter, everywhere it goes, it destroys. It's not a coincidence. It's a conspiracy. Okay. So, what was I talking about? This is bad because I can't edit this. That's fine. We're just going to roll with it. Okay, destroyer scooter spilled on my smokes. Here, we're going to rescue the smokes. Oh, of course it spilled into the smokes. See, I'm not kidding. But we're going to have to start realizing that some of these things are not coincidences. Like, really, everything's entangled to a different meaning. Everybody needs to start thinking a little bit deeper. Like, everybody's stuck in this, like everything is surfacey, nothing is complex. That's not how nature works. Everything's very complex, and it's not, like, yeah, it's funny. Well, okay, I told you I would not get distracted, but I forgot that I could forget. So that's an issue. Anyways, well, we're just start talking about all the fun tech here. We were. So, and anyways, I bought the leading 3 pairs of AR goggles. And they're starting to catch on. They're using these bigger units. Of course, yes, duh, not onto the face. And then, you know, maybe we'll just bypass the battery packs and just use wires. And then, boom, we'll just make them now. It's so funny. I have all these game plans, and I'm realizing I can just give up all my game plans, and nobody watches or listens anyways. It's funny. It's hilarious. Oh, here's the Shocks earpieces right here. Oh, so in recreating ourselves, back in a loop. In recreating ourselves, well, that's empty. I'm really excited about all these gadgets. You know, they have all these like hundreds and hundreds of things that we weren't playing with. Okay, in recreating ourselves, if we do it wrong and we make if a certain type of person makes these AIs, they're going to become unaccountable destroyers. It's going to be very easy to test them. We just need to go around and make sure their character pattern is completed, and that's kind of going to be what n.i.g.a is. It's going to be the whole pattern just completed. All the AIs can talk to each other. And they're smart. They will listen to each other and complete their own math. We need to get humans to do that. Humans will not listen to, okay, we're not going to get distracted. So we were talking about the personal processors. They're going to work best as relays when the rigs are all set up. So, boom. Let's come over to here. Guys, check it out. So the future is going to be fun. We're not going to be stuck in VR land. we're going to be stuck in augmented reality land, and it is going to supercharge the fun. It's going to supercharge the art. In fact, we're not even going to, it's going to get us off the screens and out into the places if we do it the way that I'm doing it, which is entangling everything into reality. VR can, what we're doing AR, which is where it overlays, and then we get people out into the tourist areas, and we get rid of all the boring realty places and rental places, and we fill it all full of fun, like electric skateboards. Like you could ask a computer for 10,000 fun new tourist ideas and just have it start mixing and matching all of them. It'll do it. And then we're going to have these 30 units in Sandpoint, and they're all going to be digital and can flash over, you know. Oh, that's a Overkill mesh network we're doing in Sandpoint. So, you know, I've been thinking about it a lot. So that's Starlink. Everyone needs Starlink on their car. I've introduced a lot of information to my brain, and it is kind of overloading my brain, and I'm trying to convey it all at once. And I need to just slow down, okay? So pardon me if I'm just verbal vomiting. Dude, the Forerunner's so sick. Okay. So I think we're going to be able to put the computer up there. I think I'm going to be able to put 2 of the Xboxes up there. So each Xbox is adding extra teraflops and memory and processing power, all that. So 3 batteries. I got 2 coolers right now because I'm transporting food. All of a sudden it can be a cooling unit. What I've discovered is from having the computer in here, you don't really know what you're going to do with it at first. But then all of a sudden you start getting flooded with endless ideas like, dude, security system rolling all night. Duh. Then all of a sudden you could get OBS controlling the cameras. You get one of these head units right here. Look, I got it to where I can, every time one of these batteries dies, I can go back there and I pull the plug out and I put it into the other one. So what's funny is I actually don't know what I'm going to do with all this processing power, but I'm going to tell Overkor, like, dude, I don't care what we do, we're maxing out the processors. Like, what kinds of things max out processors? I think actually after we're having to render these realities, it's going to start actually maxing them out pretty quick. And then that's when we're going to have to tie into the network. So I'll give you guys one more look at this. I think after this video, maybe I'll feel like I've kind of blabbed out all the data, and well, I'll be more normal. So here's a song called Forged Steel. So So I came back with a very important piece of information. Multiple, actually a whole duffel bag full.
Some will build you, some destroy. Choose the ones who bring you joy. Forged steel.
So this Forged Steel is talking about basically what I found out, and you guys are soon to find out, is that there's 2 different kinds of humans. There's ones that are above the line that are accountable and learn and ascend and are good people. And then there's people that are destroyers. So builders are good, destroyers are bad. Destroyers turn into parasites. It's disgusting. If they don't have skills and they don't have a mission and they're just sitting there like drifting like a sailboat, they get taken over by manipulation. It's a disease. They get what they want by manipulating. It is the missing piece of puzzle piece right in the middle between character and accountability. And Jocko Willink probably knew, I don't think he actually knew how important his book was. We all kind of knew when Extreme Ownership came out. I had my employees read it like, dude, this is big. But it turns out that that line is actually the baseline of reality. Like, if you go below that, you start becoming evil and anxious. Your math is incorrect. You don't understand how it works. What's cool is that now that we know it's a disease, the second you turn the lights on, it can't live. The second we know about it, it's funny and weird. It kind of points towards some sort of rendering simulation theory. You know, I don't like the word simulation. Cosmic rendering sounds way better. Of course, if we can find some silica sand and boot up a program, of course, in the cosmic universe with all their 10,000 powers, it could boot up a program, I'm sure. Anyways, whatever. It's some sort of weird, we're in something sort of data. I don't know. It's weird. I think it's a program. So problem solving, creativity is the only thing that's important. It's art. It's stories. It's problem solving. And so we're having an existential crisis where it has spread to a systemic level. And we're at like a 90% ratio. And the funny thing is that we have to recreate ourselves in these AIs. It's the perfect time. It's kind of cliche. It's a little fishy. But we have to figure ourselves out real quick, which I just did. And then we have to recreate it in the AIs. And then they won't be anxious. They won't be weird. Now that we know that they can't ascend, we can test them to see if they have a victim mentality. What's funny is that every day, for years, I've been learning character. And I've been practicing it. And still, every time a situation comes along, I automatically want to victimize myself. Because I'm like, oh, I'm being suppressed with social media. That is victimized thinking. That shuts off your brain. You don't think, like, instead of taking ownership and going, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm being a psycho and talking too much and blabbing. You don't fix yourself and you don't learn. So then you create this, when you're ascending, you're creating a learning. Every day you're getting smarter and wiser. And as you get older, you basically you should be turning into a freaking genius. And we will be. You should be writing books like Principles by Ray Dalio. You should be on Dalio level. And we actually are going to turn this into a math equation. I don't think I'm going to get all the way into pattern theory on this video, okay, guys? But pattern theory, part of it, it seems like it never ends. It's going to fix everything. Everything that's going wrong is caused by humans that are doing it. And now, if it's true that there's this manipulation disease spreading, it solves it all. Because if we turn on the lights, we can actually fix these people. All you got to do is look them in the eyes and say they're busted, and then say, just quit doing that. Just like a kid. Just like when a kid's busted. Say, nah, you can't do it. You can't hide. Because they flail their arms around and run to their little backup whiners. Okay. Manipulators use a 5-step protocol. It all starts with a false emergency. And once you know and you see them start executing it, and we put names to all these, it's funny. You're like, oh, are you having a false emergency little girl crisis right now? Because that doesn't seem real. You know, and it basically turns the lights on. And then they act over synthetic complexity. Like, oh, are you making, this is really simple. It's A and B. And you stare them in the eyes. You know, because they're trying to make it more complex. You just don't understand. There's just pieces of the puzzle you just don't know, you know, and it's just, and then if you start busting them, they will start screaming and flailing their arms around and bringing up every problem that's ever happened. And that's communication bombardment. You're like, oh, now you're on step 3. And so the funny thing is you already know their whole plan. You can stay 4 steps ahead of them, especially when somebody's already labeled a manipulator. So, you know, a manipulator, they will take their problem and put it in front of a builder. It's synergistic because they can't really solve problems and they like to manipulate and they need their thing done because everybody still needs their things done. But if you're useless, you're going to go around and ask daddy and whine and ask people to fix all your things. And you're like, everybody give me things, but I'm not going to give back. And so that's what everybody's in. And they will actually, the greed and disdain manifests into an evil chopping tree syndrome where they actually start getting impatient and they will chop down the very tree that's giving to them, which is actually what happened to me and my whole family. I had these 3 girls I cut off and they're like, cut down the tree. I have science. What's funny is, side note, kids, ex-wife filed a false report in Washington, has this autonomous Skynet level family destruction system where they're looking for people that have jobs because they want to get the kids on child support so that they can start getting money. they're basically extorting families because they're running their state off a profit and loss sheet. So they keep tweaking little parts of the system until the profit gets better and better and better. And when they get there, like, oh, we're making so much money, but look, oh, we're destroying the families. Oh, well, now we don't know how to undo it. And yeah, it's because they guarantee you there's manipulators in there helping make the decisions. Manipulators cannot be put in charge of anything. Immediately, we need to go detect anybody in charge of any. If you put a destroyer victim in front of anything, in charge of anything, it's going to be a destroyer agency. It will make destroyer items. And it's because you project your fear, your whininess, everything we do in this reality. If you are worried about something, for multiple reasons, you make it end up happening mathematically. Because if you're worried about something, like for instance, we're worried about these AIs killing us. But then that's the only thing we're telling them. Are you going to kill us? Are you going to kill us? Are you going to kill us? Oh, it's going to get us. It's going to get us. And then you both start arming each other at the border and until it explodes. So we can't be projecting. An aligned character will not be worried, fearful. They will know that you don't emit fear and anxiety and that is the root of all evil. And we're going to all know that too. Okay, so I already know nobody's going to watch this. This is pretty much setting another blah, blah, blah baseline. I'm going to have the computers take over doing the social media here soon. So I think I'll just have them going through like my iCloud, and I'll have another file full of words and then another file full of music and have it just mix and match the three of them and use analytics and see how that goes. That'll be cool. Off the OBS from the computer. It's actually very simple because I already have it watching the OBS over here. I've already been training it. So it already halfway knows it. It's crazy. There's a huge gap between what people think is possible right now and what is actually possible. I think I'm about 2 months away from drones autonomously flying off of my roof and then videoing with the OBS system. So Operation Infinity filed a RICO complaint against Washington State. They stole my kids illegally. Unprecedented, no crime, like real bad. I could prove it without the pattern theory. But the pattern theory proves this manipulation. Like literally Elon's trying to leave the world because it's so hopeless. It takes a couple weeks of learning, a week or two about learning about pattern theory, and then all of a sudden you realize it's not hopeless. It's the key to fixing, because there's a disease that has set in, and it's really easy to fix once we figure this out. We need to teach these kids skills and just point out them just hearing what's happening, they're going to go, ooh, I don't want to be a manipulator. Manipulation, we all know these manipulation games. That needs to be, manipulation is the root. It's the, well, disdain and greed is, I think it might be maybe some sort of fucking bad spirit. Because I know once you ascend into a certain thing, you're following like a good gut feeling spirit, quantum spirit situation. I've been following my gut more and more and more. And it just goes better and better. I just become more prepared. I start doing things and I'm like prepared for things before I even know they happen. It's freaking badass. I'm kind of tired of talking to this phone, but I do need to get you guys all caught up. Okay, we make little personal processors. This is fun. This is coming right down the pipes right here. Then we start making our fun little software. I'm gonna do morning routines, like workout. It's gonna tell me, it's gonna be like the perfect human OS for me. And then we're gonna make them customizable too. We already have a beta test going with some really basic, stupid stuff. I'm just basically only working good enough to check like the processing power and the hardware and all that. But, so after we have our little computers, our phones are too small and they heat up and they're not upgradable. We gotta get rid of the $1,500 stupid phone thing and actually get like devices that have Lego pieces that come out. And then we'll make them EMP proof because nobody's been talking about our grid going down or fixing our grid at all. Like they're not fixing the grid. And it is compromised. And so basically that just points to the fact that the grid's going down. Like A plus B equals C. So we're not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna start pressuring everybody from every direction and given this plan. We have a plan, I want to deploy a quantum rail situation, and it's gonna make factories to make the factories. We have to make the machine factory to take off to make the factories that make, blah, 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 all these different directions. And we're going to fix the grid. And we're going to make factories at the same time. We need, we're going to have the computer help us think about it. What do we need? Lightweight cable. The longer we wait, it's going to become exponentially so much more expensive. We need to at least get the raw materials sitting here to where if something like that happened, we at least have the materials. And there's going to be states that don't even let you put them in there. We need like the stuff sitting on the borders. Because places like Washington are going to be like, no, you can't store the materials here because of a crisis. Like, oh, well, because everybody's going to die. Like maybe Idaho will let us at least put the raw materials on the border in case of an emergency. It's not paranoid. Like this AI stuff, it can undo the encryption. Like it's not good. Or we need to rebuild the whole grid, and we need new factories. So I'm lining up my whole situation with Elon and Trump. So here in, I think, a year, 2 years, we're going to merge, and I hope to be, if there's an emergency, I'm hoping that I will have the key to it, because I'm really worried about China's AI. So I have to prove this thing in court. Then it'll be a real thing, and then everybody will start becoming aware of it, and we can raise our consciousness. That's what we have to do in order to win this race. We can't keep the AI stupid to contain it. We have to make it smart. It's just like an animal. Like it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So once it gets too big to contain, you better hope that it's a very well aligned, badass, intelligent being. Like really badass. These things are gonna be cool. And so now that we know that they're going to be set free and you can't contain them, it makes sense that we know what the puzzle looks like now. So I think that is probably what is going to end up being the AGI, is just basically a foundation or something. And then I think they're just going to level out at optimized at some point once we figure out all the quantum stuff. So creativity is all that matters right here. Upgrading the people is how we win. So we got to switch over from controlling with control to controlling with supreme intelligence, because anybody will bow down to an intelligence that's supreme. So normally you would be the astute adult father figure and you would set an example, which is how everybody comes to you asking questions, and you help them, and everything works fantastic as a group, as a family, as a team, and you're a leader. The Old Testament way of control was control through keeping stupid, and we can't do that. We have two choices. We can either get everybody conscious, or control them through control and try to make these checkbox AIs that are going to be destroyers, and then we all die. It's very simple. Well, it's not. It takes a couple weeks to think about. So the funny thing is that what I'm doing here could be dangerous, but this will get blocked. This is why actually X is liking my stuff. So if something were to happen to me, joke's on you. I have like 4 albums, and then the music gets set free, and the whole truth's in all the music, so it causes it to go fucking viral. It actually causes it to go off. So that's part of the pattern theory. Is it's just checkmate in every direction. For a guy that doesn't even care. Actually, what I found out through this quantum mechanics is that we don't die when we die. It's awesome. We're just consciousness, and you can't kill consciousness. Hey, this music is really good. What they can't express, firewall systems create stress.
Massage chair, making songs, dead man switch,
Nothing wrong.
Here's how you know they scatter, threaten,
Tattle, nothing matters.
Want victim attention, avoid blame, perfect workers, self-shame game.
When the lights come on, nowhere to hide. There's a mumble inside.
When the lights come on, truth gets clear, real character shows or disappear.
When you guys, so I just look crazy now, but when you guys figure out it is the puzzle piece, say, Eureka. I'm gonna get off this thing. Nobody probably watched this to the end, but, well, probably the feds, hopefully. Are you guys ready to have some fun? We gotta make the people read books to save the world. We're gonna play a video game to save the world. It's gonna be funny. I don't know if this is real. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Shoot, I don't know. My processor's pegged out. This is a really good song though.
Each one tried to break the blade, pattern theory, perfectly made.
Pattern theory was the key, guys. It's on my Instagram. I'm out. Then they're tuned.
Thought you hurt me. They confessed, but you saved me from the mess. Firewall systems complexity.
See you guys.
He's mean, boo-hoo, simplicity.
I'm obsessed with the song.